Good afternoon. It's time for another NFL Bucky's Mill. This is your host Mike C. And of course, start of the show, as always, it's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. I got a little bit of a late start today. Had some errands and chores to do, and Murphy's running around crazy. But we had to get this Bucky's Mill day out, so we took some time off and want to get this done. We don't have a lot to report. We have some news, but nothing, not like last week, which only did 4 reviews last week. It's one of the lowest they've had in a long time. Usually the second week does better. So we'll see what happens. I might, give an update, but like I've always said, this is not, I make these for myself. If people watch it, that's fine. Makes me feel good, but it's not essential. I'm not going to bore you with that. Let me get some of the news I actually have. The Green Bay Packers released cornerback Jair Alexander. I think he made like $17 million last year, which seems a lot. They tried to trade him, but just outright released him. I've seen videos to 5 possible teams that could sign him. The Vikings are one. Buffalo, the Cowboys, the usual suspects. Could the Lions? I have a theory. The Lions sign Alexander, okay? Then they trade one of the other cornerbacks, which I've seen proposed. I believe it's I can't think of his name now. Anyway, it's one of the cornerbacks. They have a very good secondary, which I'll get to later. I saw a proposed trade for a second-round pick. If they did that, I'd take that in a heartbeat. They could use that second-round pick or the other, which is better, to trade for Trey Alexander. Now, that's for Trey Hendrickson, excuse me. I just don't think it's going to happen because of the salary cap. Now, they did get some money, like I reported last week, when Frank Ragnow retired. But they've got a lot of money coming up next year. Now, the salary cap will probably increase, I'm sure of that. But still, they're going to, they got a lot of contracts coming up. There's like 3 or 4 big, Penei Sewell's one of them. They're going to do Hutchinson, J-Mo. I mean, there's lots of guys they're going to need new contracts. So I just don't think they're going to trade for a guy like Hendrick. Now, I'd love to trade for him, but they're going to hope that, the players they have now are going to survive and last, but there's still a couple of defensive ends out there. People will be cut. So I think that's the route that they're going to go. That way they can create their own salary. That's if they do sign somebody, it's going to be somebody that's cut during training camp. That's my prediction. What else we got, Bucky? OTAs are over. Training camp is next up. They had very good OTAs. Quite a few players stood out. One of the big battles that's going to be coming up is for the center spot. The aforementioned Frank Ragnow is going to be Glasgow or Rutledge. Ratledge, I should say. Graham Glasgow. Now, I think he's going to win because he's an older player with more experience. It's tough for a rookie center to start. So I think he's going to start this season. We'll see how he does. He'll be reevaluated. Ratledge probably will be the center of the future. But I predict to start the season that Glasgow will be the starting center. We'll see what happens. What else have I got, Bucky? In a Facebook story, I saw they were comparing, the 5 big stories from OTAs, and they this wasn't, this was like a national writer. The Lions have an elite secondary. If you could stay healthy, that'd be great. Their safeties are top of the line. They got a very good cornerback group. If they add to that with a player mentioned before, it'd be even stronger. But mainly is stay healthy in depth. So I don't think you're gonna tamper with it too much. It's possible. We'll see. If they get a good deal, they can always improve. But you got a few weeks till training camp starts. Actually, it's a little bit earlier for the Lions because of the Hall of Fame game. But yeah, it's going to be interesting off season coming up, and they'll make some moves. I just don't think they're going to trade for Hendrickson. I just think they would have done it by now. We'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. But for Bucky, what in the world do you have in front of you? Well, like I promised last week, we've got my print that I made, and I forgot to turn it on, Bucky. Hang on a sec. We gotta turn this thing on. Where is it, Bucky? There it is. Okay, there we go. Look at that, Bucky. The eyes light up. Little signs there on the side. So that's pretty cool. And that goes next to my other Batman stuff. And it looks very good there. Right now it's empty because I took it out. But yeah, it's a great sign, I guess. And Bucky's got some Pinterest pictures that I got earlier. Put that up there. And I'm going to put both of them up when I'm finished. So that I'll, like I promised last week to show them. Maybe this will get more than 4 views, hopefully. But yeah, it's very cool. It's very sharp looking. I love the lights that behind the eyes. And thanks to Carlos, I could get one. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Very cool. The Reds are 33 and 33, 500. Of course, they're 5.5 games behind the Cubs. I really don't see them doing anything. They just kind of, hover around 500. They can't put a good win streak together. I just don't follow baseball like I did before. I've mentioned that 1,000 times. Reds are never on, or hardly ever on. It's just, I still love baseball. It's just not the sport that I loved back in the 70s. Football has replaced it. But, I keep an outside eye on it. But, what else have I got, Bucky? No, I didn't check to be 100% accurate. I saw something on Facebook. It was this day in 2010 that the Blackhawks won their Stanley Cup over the Flyers with Kane scoring the winning goal. I hope that's true. That was a great moment, great game. It was my first Stanley Cup that I remember. The Blackhawks got one in 61, but I was 2 years old, so that doesn't really count. That was ecstatic. I didn't think it was ever going to happen, so it's still a great memory. And that's why I got all my, Blackhawk, or most of the memorabilia from that Stanley Cup win, including the the DVD, and the numbered Sports Illustrated, all that good stuff that I got. They won 2 more after that, which are even better. That first one was very special, and the way they won that game, that it wasn't a clean goal. Like, did they score? Did they not? They just replayed it a million times. It was very, very exciting. It's a memory that I'll cherish and I'll never forget. And the Hawks are, falling on hard times the last few years. They do have the draft coming up. I think it's in July, if I remember right. I know it's after the season. And the Stanley Cup Finals are tied, 1 game apiece. And the Hawks are picking third. I've seen mock drafts. I've seen the last one I saw that the Hawks were trading up to number one. I don't know about that. Wouldn't have to give up too much, I don't think. The Islanders, I don't know if they need a lot of help or not. There's a couple names that I would love to see the Hawks get. Either a big power forward or a center. The number one player played only 17 games, I think, last year. There's a Mike Miso, I think his name is. I would love for them to get. He's a big scorer. I think he's a forward slash center, but just ton of points. They could trade to the second pick. I don't know. It all depends on the first pick, and of course the second one. But there's a few players that I'm kind of keep my eye on to see if the Hawks can get one of them. You also have, I think it's 20. I'm gonna say the 20th pick in the first round, so they got a couple picks in the first round, like I said. So that's exciting, but they'll get a great player regardless. We'll just have to wait and see who it is, if they make a trade or not. I don't know if they will or not. We'll see. Other than that, Bucky, not much else. Nice today. Murphy's, very healthy, and we've been playing a lot today. Went for a walk, of course, and it rained for a couple days, but now it's nice, a little windy, but not too bad. So I think that's about it. I said OTAs are over. Not sure exact date when training camp starts. We'll find that out. There's not gonna be a lot of news unless the Lions sign a player or two. But if it is, we'll report it, Bucky, and we'll let you know next week. But I want to make a quick comment. I want to say what's happening in Los Angeles with the riots and stuff is disgusting. People are burning flags of the United States, and it's just totally disgusting. And the governor's not doing anything, and the Democrats are complaining about it, and it's just I've totally given up on the Democrats. I don't get to the political, it's a sports podcast thing, but once in a while politics transcend this, and I just want to make my opinion known. And I think it's the fourth day now this has been going on, and it's just disgusting. And I call it FBI or not FBI troops, military guys are supposed to be there, like 500 Marines. They call it the National Guard, and they complain about that. It's just all right. Enough of that, Bucky. So for Mike Cenacor Star Show, as always, it's Bucky. Say bye, Bucky. Bucky says bye. And thanks for watching. And let's get more than 4 next week. All right. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.